Well, talking about misinformation and people who are caught on a hook, we got to talk a little bit about what's been going on here in Texas, which has been this convoy going to the border. And look, I feel really bad for people who live in South Texas and in these border communities, particularly people in Eagle Pass, who seem to be like the number one favorite of weird right-wing activities. People like RFK, anyone who wants to go and get an image of them with people crossing the border, like, we're going to Eagle Pass. We talked last week about how this convoy, which has had a lot of trouble getting off the road, or I guess getting on the road, stopped for a long time in Dripping Springs, Texas, which is pretty close to where we are. It's not really by the border. And that's where the big celebrities showed up, right? That's where it was a little bit more normal, I guess. It's like not to call Sarah Palin and all these folks normal, but you know what I mean? The bigger names, the people who want to land at Austin Bergstrom International Airport, they pop in, they show the party. And then the real wild guys went down to the border. And we have some video here that I wanted to share. Maybe first, just to start the scene and remind people of the seriousness of this, is that, like, the potential of something dangerous happening is really there. These guys are, not only are their politics dangerous and all this kind of stuff, they are completely deluded as to what the reality is. They think that they are driving down to a literal war zone, which is a dangerous thing to hop up a guy driving from Virginia, then seeing, Sarah Palin in a nice little outfit and Ted Nugent wailing on the guitar. These guys are worked up when they get down there.
On Yellow Peril.
And they get there and they see something like this. And this is from Christopher Hooks, a reporter here in Texas, who was down in Eagle Pass. And look, this is just to show you people the oddity of this. It might be hard for some folks to see, but here's a truck with just like 10 million fucking flags on it. A bunch of Trump decals, just sort of like circling the parking lot of this restaurant where these people are having a nice little Saturday night in their town. And like this sort of, is just like one particular image, and there's a bunch of them out there. But as Christopher Hook says, strange scenes in Eagle Pass tonight. Folks are out there having a good time, and there are these trucks with 80 decals and 100 flags and out-of-state license plates just kind of circling. And I'm sure people have probably seen some of the videos. There's been a lot of Christian stuff going on. Well, actually, before we get there, I will say, I was saying before we started to Matt, like, there's really something that is funny about watching these guys, because like there is something about the Trump rallies. We've all seen them. They're very funny. There's a lot of characters out there. I would love to do an in-depth report on the guys who sell buttons and T-shirts and flags.
Yeah. No, David and I came up with a movie idea where it's the rivalry between two Trump merch salesmen as they go across country, and one's maybe a little bit crypto DeSantis-y, but knows where the money is. But anyway,
like a buddy road comedy.
Yeah, totally. They learn to love each other in hatred of DEI,
or like Kingpin,
yes,
but instead of bowling, it's so anyways, and like, because but this stuff is volatile, because going back to like how hard it is to sort of hold these coalitions together. And again, I'm not downplaying them. I literally was just saying how dangerous they are. But when you watch these movements, and it's just wild, because you have people coming from all different geographies, political persuasions. And one thing that is very funny is, like, I don't know, Texas people, I love them. Everyone knows that very much. That's a big part of who I am and all this kind of stuff. Also, Texans are so worked up about people from the rest of the country, and it's very funny to see this kind of fixation of the right. That's like, oh, we're going to come down to Texas, and it's like, look, I'm like, Greg Abbott likes it, people like it on Twitter, but everyone here is also super worked up about people from California coming to the state of Texas, and they don't give a shit if you're a conservative or a Texan, right? You are already automatically there with suspicion. And anyways, we could watch this clip to see how well this is going on the border here.
No free speech, no guns, no offensive Christians. What kind of conservatives are you? Oh, you're from California. You're not even a Texan.
San Diego.
Like America doesn't believe in the Constitution.
Watch what? Hey!
Whoa!
Peaceful protest. Back up. Peaceful, huh? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Pedestrians have the right of way. Peaceful protest, huh? You're a violent thug. You're a violent thug. That's all you want. I got Jesse, watch out. This guy's trying to...
You don't like God? You don't
Hey!
like the Bible? You don't like Jesus?
Hey! You can't touch
Wait, is that Ninja Turtles?
Hey!
I cannot.
Where's the Ninja Turtles?
I-
On the back of the truck.
I'm
Okay, I'll go
completely
back.
fixated on that truck now. No, it's not just the back. It's like a full Ninja Turtle wrap.
That's really sick. All right.
It's oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Send those guys back. Get them out of here. No, I mean, like,
I
look.
love hearing pedestrians have the right of way. In that situation.
Yeah, pedestrians have the right of way.
He pulled an "I'm walking here" at the rally. Holy moly!
It's a beautiful thing to see. That these people still can't come together.
This is why the right never wins. Is they always eat each other. We're always eating our own tail.
As the left always loves to say about themselves. So anyway, the right wing stuff. Hopefully the convoy goes away. The stories have been fun. I don't know if you followed it all, RM, but like it's been funny. They had a lot of trouble. They got lost in a Buc-ee's parking lot for like 6 hours because for a while there's just like 20 of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a few people showed up at the end. They've been having a hard time. But you know who else has been having a hard time is Joe Biden and the Democrats, who, as I'm sure everybody knows now, did an excellent gambit where they said, hey, what if we go more right-wing than the Republicans and try to push an insane immigration bill? And maybe the Republicans will line up behind us and stand with us. And surprise, surprise, the Republicans weren't very interested in doing that. We've sort of talked about how nasty Biden's, the Biden push, the plan they were pushing is. I mean, it's a nightmare psycho bill, expanding detention capacity, shutting down the border after certain thresholds are met, and of course, sending sweet, sweet money to the folks in Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. But what's been really funny about this is like watching the Democrats like cry and be upset that the Republicans sort of said, "Oh, we don't want to do your plan," right? Which we all sort of knew was going on. What's been really interesting is watching like the far right characters have to figure out a reason to be against this bill, right? Because they can't just say, "Oh, we need Trump" or something like that. They have to come up with something different. And if you don't mind sticking on for just a couple more minutes, RM, we have a visit here from one of the great newsmen of all time, Alex Jones, who breaks down why this bill is so bad. And apologies, he gets to it in a second, but I had to start it early because the intro that he does to this segment is so goddamn good.
Can I just say, sorry, but Alex, why are we so fixated on election day? Like, I mean, y'all catch me up on my Jones lore. I thought there was a period of time when he was anti-Trump, right? Wasn't there a period of time during the Trump administration? He's like, Trump has been taken over by the globalists, and he's sort of turned his back.
Yeah, he was at one point. Yes,
just
he
moved
was.
on. I guess you can do that with that audience.
Yeah.
I mean, the funniest thing about where this video comes from is I watched like the full episode, and I haven't done that in a long time. I did not watch it. I jumped around in it. But an hour and a half of this like 4-hour episode is literally just a commercial for gold. So like, we can get a little bit too worked up about trying to find internal consistency within Alex Jones audience. But just watch this intro here because it's pretty special.
Are 273 days, 12 hours, 53 minutes, 41 seconds out for the most important election in world history. I'm coming to you from deep in the heart of Texas, Austin, broadcasting worldwide thanks to your support, your prayer, and your word of mouth. All right, look.
All right.
They just released the...
Sorry. This is like the most pregnant pause of all time.
That's the... oh, shit, I'm actually considering my deep sort of interpersonal issues while I'm on air pause.
Oh, man. All right.
Quote, bipartisan Senate bill that they claim they have the votes for to pass in the House and Senate. And I got up about 5 a.m. as I normally do today. Did a couple
I just love the flex, you know?
Yeah.
Alex Jones works harder than the rest of us. All right, let's see. And what's he doing?
He's like the
I woke up
Kobe
a little
Bryant of
early
news.
today.
I mean,
I wanna walk.
he left out this part. He's up at 5 a.m., but the first 3 hours he's eating kolaches. So let's be clear on what's going on during that time.
hours of research before my daughter and wife caught up.
Flexing on his daughter and wife.
And-
And he has a new wife, I guess.
I saw the subsections of the bill that Jack Posobiec and others were posting, and I went and read
it wasn't
most
even-
of the thing this morning. And it's a big bill, but there are sections in this that even shocked Alex Jones, because I know they're a bunch of criminals.
Oh,
But
This
it
is sad.
actually says that Biden has the power of a dictator, which shows they would never give this power to Trump. So they
It literally says, by the way, it's section 1(2)(b). Biden has the power of a dictator. That's very important. All right.
But Trump might win the presidency. Like, this is sad to see him just chill.
yeah.
And to be like,
You're
oh,
right,
you
Matt.
know my reputation as the crazy guy who's always crazy about everything, but even me, like that's like a aging football player throwing in his last moments of relevance for like a pain relief. Oh,
Yeah.
this is bad.
they intend to steal the election in 9 months. And it says for any reason, Biden can declare an emergency and do whatever he wants on the border.
So what's ironic
It's
about
kind of-
that, and not to be the
yeah.
typical David Texas politics nerd, but as people know who've been watching this program and have read my writing, this is literally what Governor Greg Abbott has done. He put Texas under a state disaster declaration during the COVID-19 crisis. And he said, because of COVID-19, we have to send troops to the border to stop the inflow of migrants into Texas, right? So, you know, this is not a defense of Biden or an interest for him to be doing any of this kind of stuff. But it is always wild to me to watch. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But look, it's completely ridiculous for these guys to be talking about that when, like, literally the governor of Texas, which, you know, we're also seeing Alex Jones now getting cozy up with Abbott, too, which is like we're watching Jones go from, you know, free voice for patriots and liberty loving folks to a deep state shill. It's pretty sad to watch.
It's sad.
Including in cities around the country, and giving them unlimited money. And it gets worse, only the special court in D.C., which they totally control. You've seen all the kangaroo action there, all the rigged show trials there, that court has the jurisdiction. And I mean, I sat there and marked up the bill. There's got to be like 30 things in there that are just jaw-dropping.
Flabbergasted.
And I would let you go in, but like you never hear if it's 35 minutes left in there, and you never hear one of the things that he had, which is so good. I gotta give, you know, we're back, baby, right? I was getting a little nervous about him, but boom, let's go.
Well,
I saw 30.
one of my, I can't remember what he was talking about, but I don't know if he still does this, but he used to have like 8,000 pages of documents on his tape, printed, you know, basically like printed screenshots from Twitter on his desk. And I remember one time he did a thing, I can't remember what it was. It was like a year, maybe a couple years ago, where he had some document about something, and he was like, he picked it up, like he was going to start going into it, like reading about it. And then he goes, you don't even want to know what's in here. You don't even want to know. I don't even want to look at that. Okay, great. Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, Dave Rubin did that too when he played the Ilhan Omar video. He's like, at first he's like, watch this or listen to this, and I guess you'll have to read it, but listen to it also because of how scary his Somali language is. But then he's like, there's so many things we could have played from that would have just blown your mind. It's like, well, select one that you don't have to mistranslate.
No, that's like
in order for you
literally
to
your
give a fuck
job,
about it.
right?
Yeah. Let's go into a point, maybe. Let's hear.
Like, that's why you have producers. As a producer, go through that shit, take some time codes, and let's isolate some examples.
Yeah, but if he were to do that, he would have to wake up at 4 a.m. As he said, he wakes up at 5 a.m. That's when he does his research. He doesn't have time to isolate the quotes.
Yeah, he might have to cut back a little bit too on the production budget a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll just say this. It was I haven't watched his program in a long time, so it was funny to go into it. the best thing ever are the commercials on it.
Oh yeah.
Like he does the live commercials, which are very funny, but it's sort of the world's gonna end and you need gold. Which we were joking, Matt and I were joking about this last week. Is that like I don't understand the idea that like in a post-apocalyptic world, like people are gonna want like your doubloons or shit.
Yeah, it's stupid, man.
But the best thing is he's selling every product, and it doesn't matter what it is. That gets like a kind of show ad or pre-roll ad. It's just crap from Amazon, right? Like a flashlight or like some other, doohickey. But it always is framed in the same way. It's like the government does not want you to have this flashlight. Right? Because this flashlight is so good.
The government does not want you to have Hello Tushy.
The government hates drop shipping, I think.
So it's super, super good. But maybe we could do some more because I actually had a lot of fun revisiting Jones. He did a video, and I would play it on this platform, but this isn't a free speech platform, so we would get in trouble for playing Star Wars on this program. But he played a video of Obi-Wan Kenobi getting killed by Darth Vader. And he just plays like the straight clip from it.
Oh, he does kind of stuff all the time. Yeah.
But he did something so sick, right?
Yeah.
It was so good. I couldn't handle it. Where the opening of the clip is like Darth Vader slowly approaching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know Star Wars well enough to do it off the top of my head, but he does like, he's like, I used to be the learner and now I'm the master, or something like that, right? Before he says the line, Alex Jones says that line into the microphone. So he's like, I used to be the learner, now I'm the master. And then Darth Vader says it right after. It's so good. So yeah, I think we got to do some more Jones stuff in the near future together.
Did you guys ever read his leaked I mean, this was a while back, but did you ever read his leaked text messages?
I remember hearing some of the highlights.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
been a little while.
Oh my gosh, they were really wacky, but there was one point where because he's in a lot of arguments, he's in a lot of interpersonal drama, let's just say, and there was one point where he was arguing with somebody, and he'd argue, and then there's just one text he writes, "Got in crash." So I guess he was.
Oh yeah.
Don't text it. Maybe that's a message, Alex. Don't text and drive. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, the issue with his wife, like, hey, respond. That was the one, right, where he's like, yeah, like, hey,
where are you?
You're not responding to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too much. We've all been there of like trying to get somebody to text you back and being kind of pissed off, and you. Like, well, I got in a car crash now. It's kind of your fault. I wasn't so agitated. I maybe when a crash accident. You should probably call me and see how I'm doing.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, I think we have some good ideas for the next time. But, brother, I really appreciate you spending some time and joining us this week on Left Reckoning. I'm sure people already know about the wonders that is the Arm Brown experience. But for those who don't, tell them a little bit about your program and where they can find it.
Yeah, it's RM Brown, the YouTube channel, and I upload there, like 3 times a week. So, and I love you guys, and I'm a fan. It's one of the, I think I've told you this, it's one of the few shows where I feel like I am actually learning something. So yeah, thank you guys for doing what you do, for sure.
Likewise, I'm a patron of the Iron Brown podcast, and I also would like to say it is a deceptively informative show. Obviously, it's very funny. Obviously, you like that piano music, but actually, you learn something and a little bit more in depth than you might expect. Because you do a lot of actual research into the issues that you mine for comedy.
Yeah, you actually get the time codes after you find the 30 things that made your
yes,
jaw
exactly.
But brother, do appreciate it. Everybody, show is not over. We're going to run over the post game patreon.com/Left Reckoning to get it. We're going to be joined by none other by Dr. Ben Burgess, who is also a friend of all of ours. We're going to be hanging out. We got some Brett Weinstein. I'm trying to not say the end of it because I don't know how to say his name anymore, Matt. I lost that.
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
I like Weinstein. Brett Weinstein. Brett Weinstein.
We're going to have a lot of fun over there. Patreon.com/Left Reckoning to get access to it. You can also buy merch. You can get that cool hat that Matt is wearing at leftreckoning.com/store. Appreciate all of y'all so much. We'll be over in the post game. We also have bonus episodes on Sunday for patrons. I'll probably do a Griscom stream this Thursday. We'll have to see. Take care, everybody. See you soon, and have a good evening.
Peace.